or in the classroom with a white teacher, and they have to know how to deal with our hair and any other situation as well. So they have to learn, but to learn, they have to include the people who are already in the front line doing these things.
Or just make a provision. Like, for example, I'm in King's Cross the other day, taking the train up to Leeds, and I wanted to leave my bag just for a little while in the left luggage locker so I could go and meet a friend. But it was closed because the guy that works in the left luggage locker is Muslim, and it was his time for prayer. So it's like, you have to wait. So there's a provision for particular cultures, and I think where African, Caribbean, diasporic experience is respected as culture, as religion, as a political background, a provision can be made. A school can hire somebody in to deal with that situation. They can make sure that's on the board. It doesn't have to be a responsibility that this person has to deal with it, but it's that thing put in, because we've been here for a minute.
Yeah, there has to be that respect. That's it.
Yeah, it's making it on a par with, if somebody can't come in on a Friday for religious reasons, that's okay. If somebody can't eat this because of religious reasons, that's okay. So it's just affording our hair practices the same consideration. So like, look, because of this, this person's got to do it, or this person can't do it.
And that's one of the things that we try to do at Nurture Academy is like teach foster carers. Because there's so many kids out there that's being fostered by people of different cultures, and they don't know how to take care of these children's hair. But by educating them on just the basics, just how to brush that child's hair, you understand? Just how to put that child's hair in two plaits, that makes a world of difference. One, for that parent to be more confident at being that parent to that child or that carer to that child, and two, for that child to feel confident about themselves, and just who they are as, you're not the same color, but you're two different people learning on that journey of that, to form that inclusion. So
and also important for them to know what products to use on the hair as well.
All of that.
If you don't know the products, you don't understand the hair texture, because there's different textures of hair. So not everything works with the same.
Exactly.
So okay. So our next question.
Qualifications are important.
Yeah, definitely. I think it works hand in hand.
Yeah, I think
both experience and qualification.
Just the two needs to come together. Those that have the experience and those that have the qualification, let's come together.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Have you got a question to ask, Leslie?
I just wanted to highlight that Portia's Nurture Academy is a perfect example of how we in the Black community can set up an institution that has people that are qualified, experienced, culturally knowledgeable, ancestrally wise in their chosen field, that can deliver a service but also be inclusive. Because when I came to your academy, Portia, it was not about it's an academy just doing Black hair. It was you were providing a service, and that service can go to all areas. What I think happens is that in the Black community, sometimes we're looking to be included in other communities, and we need to kind of just pull back a little bit and say, you know what, we have places like Nurture Academy that are functioning, that are working, so let's attach and connect Nurture Academy to Yazo Mai. Let's connect Yazo Mai to Project Embrace. Let's connect Project Embrace to Vidal, so that we have a sort of spider web of services that and industries that are connected together, so that when we approach people like Javier, we're approaching them as one unit, and we say, look, we as a collective are here to support you in your national occupation standards, because we are functioning as a collective, and we're working in this model, and we know that it's work, and we can help you when you're delivering your courses.
Yeah. We get accreditation for the things that we do.
Because that's another thing, because we couldn't get
Yeah.
the qualification. Okay, I thought to myself, you know what, the next best thing is get an accreditation, at least towards a qualification.
Yeah.
So we've got the standards of having an AQA after every person finishes the course. You know, they achieve that certificate behind them. You understand, to press them towards achieving the qualification.
Full qualification.
And I think this is very important across all the industries. It's like we've done the work.
Yeah. We just need
and I mean, I don't even like this word. It's just recognition that we've already done the work, so that we're not reinventing the wheel, because there are many people with many processes. You know, an example that you've already done this. So why start a new qualification with a new set of people when you can just, do you know what I mean, hand over your knowledge and experience at a price? Can I just put in very quickly an anecdote on that example? I like to study business case studies, and there was a case study about 30 years ago where in Brazil, Tesco's is like Marks and Spencer's is here. It's kind of like highbrow, this kind of thing. And to cut a long story short, there were two Nigerian sisters who were makeup artists, and they decided they wanted to reflect a wider range of skin tones, and they found that they could do it in Brazil. And of course, all of the business advice here in the UK said, no, you can't do it, it's a different niche, it's tough, it's too competitive, blah, blah, blah. And of course, they just looked, they smiled, and they went anyway. And they set up a little stall inside Tesco's in Brazil, and they offered like a wide range of darker skin tones and makeup, and of course, they sold out within minutes, and they had a supply problem, not a demand problem. Yeah, this is going back 30 years, so you know in your experiences many times you'll be told, oh well, this is difficult, or this doesn't meet, you know, this standard or these expectations, and there's a point at which you've just got to smile, go, okay.
Just make it happen. Next question. We had a long question. That question was very good.
Very good question.
Very good question indeed. Thank you. Next question is, what effects do you think that the new changes will have on the industry, if any? Do you think there will be any effects?
I think, for me personally, microphone, I think it will change certain ways of operation that hair salons have been operating for donkey years. In the sense of that these new standards are going to bring about probably some salons closing down because of the way they operate, and even to do like things like pat testing, making sure your electrical equipment is working every year how they should be working. You understand? If they were to go and check these salons or these barbers, so I think it's making us step up to what we are actually doing and taking care and pride in what we are actually doing to be at that level where when they come in, we're ready. You know, so it will, it will affect it in that sense, in that way.
Okay, thank you. Do you think any effects that's going to happen in the industry?
It's interesting. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But very occasionally I go around my sister's and she watches a lot of TV. So like this whole thing of adverts is new to me. It's a new phenomenon. Like last Christmas I turned up, watching this thing, and there's a world of black people on TV now. And I'm like, where did these black people come from? Because in the 80s they weren't there. You know, you knew the 4 people that got adverts, but now it's like X amount. Everybody is there, and there is demand. So that, you know, these people have to be lit. Their makeup has to be done, and their hair has to be done. So I think this is a testament to what they're calling the creative industries, which is, you know, I'm going to be real. Like the UK's biggest exports are guns and drugs. So if you look at the first legal, you know, non-harmful, holistic industry that UK provides, it's creative and artistic. It's in the top 5. So we have to foster demands for that, and it's going to grow. So that means we will need stylists. We will need creative people that can fashion a visibly melanated body and hair. So I think it's, you know, it's weird how it's come about, but it's a good thing.
Let's raise the standards.
Yeah, it's raising the standards.
Yeah.
Standards will definitely change. And like you said, there's Netflix as well too, you know.
Also
Yeah.
Netflix, I didn't even get there.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, there's so much content on TV, for example, you know, streaming services, you know, like you said, wow, these people need to be, you know, on point, you know. So, and the hairdressers, I mean, I haven't been to a salon for a very, very, very long time. Just maybe one or two because I know those people. Yeah, just because of the standards, you know, just because of what you mean. You get there, your appointment is for 1 o'clock and you don't start until 2, you know, and then there's a break, you know, and then something I should have taken, because you know, our hair takes long. It takes long to do, but once you've done it, that's it, you know, you can go for the next 2 weeks. But at the same time, you don't want to wait your whole day, you know, just because you're not going to have to do it again. And then, you know, then there's a break in between, and before you know, something that should have taken about 3 hours takes 6 hours.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to set the standards in terms of operation.
So we have to agree that in addition to qualifications, the way forward for us as individuals in the black hair care industry, those who are providing the service and those who are accessing the service, that then significant improvements that need to be made, you know, in terms of customer service, hygiene standards, cultural knowledge, business ethics, right? If you say you're opening at 9, then you gotta open at 9. You can't be coming at 9:30 and be, oh, you know, I left my keys here and, you know, I'm sorry you're late. We have to level up, and we gotta tighten up our shit, not only in qualifications. And if now that Habi are offering these qualifications, we can then approach them and say, look, you know, we're already working in this industry, but these are the other standards that need to be met when European salons are providing a service for Afro-textured hair.
Definitely.
Can I say like this? This is kind of the devil's advocate. Went to Madeira a while ago, on holiday, long time ago. And you know, they have this system of rating the restaurants there. Like, they tell you this is a second-class restaurant. You know, so we expect the glasses to be clean. You know, and no, it's the thing. Like, they have a first-class restaurant, you know, but they tell you on the outside what to expect.
It's up to you.
Yeah, you can have, you can have table service, or if you're hungry, you can just grab the food and go. It might taste nice, it might taste not. Now, realistically, there are two strands. There are people that, for whatever reason, you have the guidance who made the investment, they understand the game, so they're able to provide a level of competency and a level of service. And I totally get that, I totally respect that. I understand the industrial, commercial, capitalist, you know, professional nature of it. There is another strand of people where, you know, XYZ is happening in the family, so you can't put petrol in the car. Or, you know, you had to get your son out of jail because he got, you know, arrested by police and this and the other, so you can't open the salon at 8:58. And I'm just saying that there's two strands. I'm not saying that, you know, we should belittle the grab for money, you know, because it's, you know, we're not a monolith. But I guess I'm saying be mindful of those situations where people were like, okay, yeah, I aspire to be professional one day, but right now I'm catching fresh out. So yeah, if you can give me a blight, then, you know, maybe I'll pay it forward. And I think it's important that we don't lose that aspect.
Can I just say something? Oh, sorry.
No, go on. Yeah.
I just wanted to say something because I hear what you're saying about giving them a blight and as well as the business side of things, yeah. This is one thing that I see in many like courses that are taught. We teach people how to learn a skill, but we don't teach them how to deal with what's going on inside to be able to perform to the ability that, you know, if we're saying we're open at 8 o'clock, we're open at 8 o'clock. You understand what I'm saying? Because the issues that's going on inside of us, we've addressed it, and we're at the stage where we could operate business, you know, professionally, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of the times we don't look at ourselves in the courses, and this is something that Nurture Academy does. We look at ourselves first before we move on to even learning that skill, because sometimes you can learn that skill and it's pointless. You understand? Because there's so much going on inside of you that you're not able to perform to your best ability when you're doing that client's hair. Because one of the things I always say is that when you're doing that client's hair, you become their mentor, you become their teacher, you become the counselor, you understand? So you have to be in that right frame of mind to set the tone, to give the right advice to that child, to that person. You understand? Because you don't know what they're going through, and you don't know what difference you could make by saying that one word to that person. You understand? So that's why I always say, be in the right frame of mind, be in the moment when you're, styling, when you're doing business, you understand, to give your best. Set the standard for yourself first before you set the standard for, the rest of,
And also, in addition to that, Portia, be able to maintain client confidentiality.
100%.
And that's one of the things that I think we really need to, learn more in the Black community, that when we're doing, say, you're doing somebody's hair like Vidal and you go to his house, it's not about getting on the phone after and chatting and telling your friends, I see what's in his house, and him have this and him have that, This client confidentiality, you can share with your friends that, you've done an artist's hair, but you have to be able to maintain that confidentiality.
And this is what we're setting the
providing the
standards.
service.
Yeah, I just wanted to just add a little bit to what you're saying from the customer point of view. So yes, like you were saying, yes, they are, the hotels, for example, you have the 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. You know what you're getting. But I think if we don't set the standards, we can't know what we can achieve, like you were saying. So yes, set the standards, and then. So, because you can't be what you cannot see. So we have to know that, okay, look, it's possible to set these sort of standards, It's possible to say you open your shop at 9 and be there at 9. Yes, life happens, but we have to take it seriously, and maybe only when something really serious happens that, okay, yes, you can. But if we don't set those standards, and then just something minor that you can work around happens, and okay, I can't come and open it at 9, and therefore it's 9:30, and the person comes in like, you're very rude and everything. Like, I'm Nigerian, so some of those people say, I beg, I need to eat, please, let me eat, I'll come and finish your hair later. I don't want that.
My dad is from Nigeria.
What can you do? But when those standards are there, you know that at least you have a choice.
We're laughing, but okay, if we have the cultural knowledge that that's how that culture operates, when that person says, okay, I need to eat, there could be somebody else in the salon that is offering the customer a nice plate of fufu. Whilst the stylist goes to eat, the customer is getting a plate of fufu and is being introduced to that culture.
Yeah, so that's why the standards have to be set, so you know that that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah, we're all in agreement.
It's all right. The stream has gone down, so we can chat some true talk now.
No, it's not.
No, just say bye. But say bye and.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap up. I'd just like to say thank you to each and every one of you that's come in. And
Thank you.
hopefully, I think...
When it's part 2?
Definitely, I was just about to say that. There definitely needs to be a part 2, because there's so many questions that is just what 2 questions we asked. And we had like about 4. And we can go on and on with this topic, and I think it's very important, because one of the questions I did want to ask, which will be part of part 2, is how important is it for the young generation to know about their own hair and how to learn how to do their own hair as well? Because I think it's about educating each other on how to do our hair, because then maybe you won't really need to go to the salons that often. So I'm saying that I'm a stylist. No, please come to me, keep coming. But I just want to say thank you. It's been really informative, and time is precious. And if you want to hear the playback, or we will be playing it back anyway, and training to the Real Rebels Radio on Mixcloud. And yeah, I'll just say thank you until next time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and for the people that tuned in, thank you for tuning in. I know you've got loads of questions, so tune in and drop us a line and let us know how you feel about your hair.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well done, everybody.
Boom
We didn't
shakalaka.
get through half of the stuff